And it looks like we are underway. Uncle thinks he has the shortcut to Ganon. Certainly is one way to call that a shortcut. Now, unfortunately, Uncle was not holding a sword, so that means he's not going to have one.
You find out that dream is over pretty quick.
Pretty much. I mean, there's only 2% chance, so chances of us getting it were pretty slim to begin with. But it looks like we got Hammer from Uncle. Which actually in some ways is better, because you got Tempered Sword damage. The range is a little left to be desired, but...
To find at the start, it's a powerful weapon that you get, and you can get through escape pretty quickly, and that is the first piece of Dark World access that these runners will be needing.
Absolutely. Very interesting that recitador using the guard sprite. I feel like we have a traitor on our midst.
Naj missing. You know, he's trying to destroy Ganon from the inside.
Of course, it's also weird when someone uses the Ganondorf sprite, because it's like, you would think we'd be working together on this whole world domination thing.
You know, you're just a good guy in disguise.
Ooh! Fire Rod and escape!
Magic drops that these runners have been getting, we're probably going to see them switch to Fire Rod just because that gives them a long range attack, and it's I think it's a bit faster to kill the ball and chain guard with.
That's a very, very powerful setup that the seed has given us thus far. But to your point, it's actually going to be pretty easier to kill the ball and chain card by just using a fire shot. But Elminster's still going to go with hammer strats. Gets it done pretty easily. And we got the small key. So normally in non-key sanity, all the dungeon items are in their respective dungeons. We found the small key in the map that are going to be in Hyrule Castle. So everything else is going to be randomized items from here. And at this point, both runners have Zelda and are taking her to the sewers.
Long stretch where you're just kind of, you know, gathering yourself, preparing yourself for the seed to come, but there's not really a lot of new information that we get in this stretch here.
You know, it's the second time someone in chat has pointed this out, that this is quite the first date. Zelda's like, hey, thanks for rescuing me. I want to go to a sewer.
You know, it's kind of weird hangout, but you know, you're getting to know each other. Maybe you just want to see what she sees. Her eyes.
Now, in order to get the 3 items in the back of Escape, we are still looking for a bomb, which neither runner is really focused on trying to farm that bomb thus far, but you're starting to see Elminster taking out these ropes and bats searching for it. Recitador electing to use Fire Rod. Now, the drops are going to be the same for both runners, so... if we don't find it, it's most likely going to be the other runner didn't get it either.
No, and Elm's deciding that it's not worth it to chase the rats anymore, and he's just going to complete this part of the run.
Yeah, I would imagine if we hadn't seen one by now, you're more likely better off just coming back once you get the power glove and can head into the back. Or boots, even. Because you can use the boots to bonk that, use the boots to bonk that door. The recitador's still searching, though. He's gonna clear out this room, but...
experience may play a factor in this race because Elminster, you know, he's been running this game since certainly before I really had any concept of what speedrunning was. So he's probably like knows the game a little bit better, and he's trusting that, you know, bomb drops are not coming in that particular prize pack, and he's just moving on, whereas Recitador is just unwilling to move on without bombs. Drops.
And of course we have bombs in the on the tree pole. We also had a fire sword in the sanctuary that I missed earlier. We also did get a map check from Elminster. Shovel on lumberjack ledge. Oh, that is a tease.
Three worst items to see on that particular ledge.
Anywho, we did get a map check. We had vanilla, blue, and red pendants at Desert and Hera, and then we had a non-5/6 crystal at Eastern. So that means most of our crystals are going to be in the Dark World.
Yeah, so pending whatever that last pendant is, there's a lot of items that these runners are going to need. Like, we're already guaranteed that flippers are going to be required, probably guaranteed that Ganon and Mario is going to be required, and...
Alright, let's see what we have in Blind's Hut. We got Moon Pearl. Power Glove. Alright, there's our Dark World access.
Dark World access 8.5 minutes in. That is pretty fast.
Alright, next up we have the well. 5 more items here. A little bit of love to start. Just $5. More arrows, more money. More money. So very with all the value we had in Blind's Hut, the well most likely wasn't going to have a lot. We got blue goo from the bottle vendor. So I think for all the times he's cheaped us out, this is the first time he's like, hey, I'll actually give you what I'm supposed to be giving you, plus some good potion.
That also opens up the Sick Kid location as we pull the single arrow out of the chicken hut.
And Sick Kid just giving his allowance money, I guess, because he really can't call that life savings.
He really can't, but, you know, at least he pitched in for the bottle, you know, paid back 20% of what you spent to get it, so he's being a bro.
Elminster gonna go ahead and pick up bombs.
He may be going straight for Dark World now.
Certainly seems like where he's headed. I mean, if you get Dark World access this early... Granted, I suck at this game, but you're a much braver man than I am to be doing 4-heart green mail Dark World access. Especially when you already have a Fire Rod and a sword and you could finish Skull Woods right now if you were that brave.
A 4-heart Greenmail Skullwoods, the absolute dream.
But he's going to Village of Outcasts first. Recitador staying on the normal route. And we got a 5-bomb upgrade in the library. We'll see what's on the race game. And just bombs of the race game, so Recitador is going to nope from there. Well, 300 bucks in the brewery. If you were thinking about doing a fake flipper to Zora, you're really close to having the cash now. Alright, here's our map check. Thieves Town is the green pendant. Man, that was fast. 5-6 crystals at Pod and Swamp. And he's gonna do... Elminster's gonna do 4 hearts Thieves Town. I wonder if he'll just do the first 4 chests, knowing that this is the green pendant.
Given how little health he has, it wouldn't surprise me to see him Death Warp once he gets the vanilla big key chest. Thieves Town, that's very tempting, and I could understand if he wanted to continue on.
So far, nothing much. 2 of the 4 items well, there's powder. That's 3 of the 4 items.
That's a little something.
And yes, Elminster is going to take a Death Warp. Just a lot of cash and health in the mini Trolldorm Cave. Alright, so, still weird to see, we're less than 15 minutes into this race and we're already seeing Thieves Town, we're seeing Digging Game, like, this is certainly divergence of the highest order. $11 digs so far, 12, 13, 15... All of that digging for 50 bucks. At least you get your money back from all that.
They recoup your investment, but nothing else really happened.
Elminster is going to go ahead and do, oh, it looked like he was heading for South Shore, and then he's following recitador to Hype Cave, I would imagine. All right, recitador doing the map check that we've already seen. Let's get some hype in here. We've got a heart container, another heart container, a bottle of red goo, a mirror, and a lamp. That's it's a solid hype there.
Safeties, and you got 2 of your required items. Be good for Helm's routing here, because he's going to be able to mirror over to South Shore, which you very rarely see.
Yes, that is, without a doubt, the first time I've ever seen someone use the mirror to check mini Trolldorm Cave. This is a first.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone like route in the Dark World Hype Cave with the so-called Light World Hype Cave. This is kind of amazing.
Unfortunately, the Light World Hype Cave is pretty tripe today. Ooh, Titan's Mitts at Stumpy. So all that together opens up Death Mountain, both light and dark. Between Mirror Hammer and Titan's Mitts, you can do all of both the light and the dark world Death Mountain.
That is correct, and with the lamp, that is currently in logic, so that... Maybe next play, assuming that recitador doesn't, like, try Skullwoods with his current item setup.
Yeah, Skullwoods is certainly in play. I mean, 7 hearts, 2 safeties. I feel like it's, I'd be brave enough to do it at this point. The one thing that is interesting is that at this point, other than access to Desert, we have access to all 3 of the Pendant dungeons, and the only crystal dungeon we can finish right now is Skullwoods. I mean, other than... We got everything for Thieves Town, we got everything for Hera. We either need the book or the flute, and we have desert access. Everything else can be on the pedestal.
That is correct. In terms of dungeon diving, the options available to you aren't really attractive, but we do have a ton of overworld locations that are available to us at this point.
Our swordsmiths today are doing ice rods for sale. So at least we're not gonna have a trolley ice rod today.
Started finding ice rod 20 minutes in.
Alright, we got Fisher Price, My First Shield in the Peg Cave. Recitador's not gonna bother with that. Now, I would say this is a first where I see the mirror for the race game, but having done the 2v2 tournament and seeing entrance shuffle, that is certainly a thing that you have to do when you're running entrance shuffle.
That would be a first for me, though. I've never really watched a lot of the entrants, but that was... I learned now that that woman who blocks the race game apparently has no corporeal form. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Basically, with entrance shuffle, because the doors to everything are shuffled around, there's no guarantee that the door that you go into the race game, you can get out. And so sometimes, in order to check whatever that door is, you basically have to mirror from the dark world to the light. 1, to access race game, and 2, to see what that door leads to.
Sure, yeah, that's really interesting.
We're gonna get Magic Bat from Elminster, finding that powder in Thieves Town. But just a little bit of love.
Looks like Elminster's skipping the Smith sequence for now.
Instead, he's heading for Skullwoods. We're going to see Graveyard Ledge from Recitador. With a big key to start in Skullwoods, followed by a small key. And we're finally going to see what those 3 items are on Back of Escape. Nice bomb jump from Elminster for a 10 arrow upgrade. $20, a little bit of love, and a big love in Back of Escape.
Elminster found himself a little trapped. Only had 1 heart, so if he fell down that hole, he would takes one of his red goos, and he's free to go again.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Personally, I probably would have taken the death, just because you're in Skullwoods and you could just get a health refill from a death. Yeah, you'd have to backtrack a little bit, but I'd rather... Again, I suck at this game, so I'd rather hold on to the potion for Mothula.
I think I would have been in the same frame of mind as you, but... You know, again, Elm's really trusting his execution here, so this is... this moth boss fight.
So far we haven't found anything in Skullwoods. Both items apparently are in the back.
We found a 10 arrow upgrade in the big chest.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. So yeah, just 1 item. And we have another Fisher Price My First Shield from the old man. Hey, thank you for rescuing me from this cave. Here's all these bouncing rocks. I'm gonna give you a puny shield. That should help you with the rocks.
I mean, look at what a good job it did right there. Such a good shield.
Alright, red meringue in a inside Spectacle Rock. And just money outside. And Elminster does head into Mothula. Okay, he's even more of a braver man than I am, because I'd at least be trying to use a hammer, not fighter sword spins. There we go, there's the hammer.
There's a switch.
Alright. Small key to start in Hera. If we don't find the big key in the next room, the next chest, we're gonna have to do a coffee break. And we will, there's the map. And Elminster has Mothula down after burning that blue potion. It gets a cane belonging to a man named Brian.
That's not the hugest find, but it's still a nice thing to have. You know that like certain chests are going to be into logic now.
Yeah, chat pointing out that Spike Cave is in logic. Apparently Elminster's mirroring was for a quick route back to Darkworld, probably to do Thieves Town, or more of Village of Outcasts, actually, not Thieves Town. There's the big key for Recitador.
It's like Elmin's going to make the same play that Recitador made a few minutes ago, going for Graveyard Legend, then probably taking the last 3 and escape. Out of the seed, you have to wonder when he'll be coming back to grab that ice rod off the blacksmiths.
For now, it's fine. It's really just a matter of when. Like right now, we can't get into Turtle Rock without the Cane of Samaria. So at this point, you're fine with the ice. Yeah. Fine without the ice rod. Alright, but Recitador is going to head into Troll Dorm.
Oh, barely hangs on.
Recitador having a little bit of problems there with the hammer. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that hammer hitbox can be a real pain to deal with sometimes.
Oh, but we got a D from Troll Dorm. So at least one pendant dungeon was required. So that puts Pod... Sorry, go ahead.
A phenomenal call sitting through top room to full clear Tower of Hera. Like, you know, whenever you enter a pendant dungeon, and that's why.
Yeah, very nicely done from Recitador. Now that puts Eastern and Pod into play. Both are full clearable at this point. Now this could be big here. Elminster looks like he's on his way into Hera. But once we see if once he sees the coffee break is required, we'll see, or he's not even bothering with Hera. He's just going straight for East Side Death Mountain.
I can understand that call. Hera's only 2 items versus the, what is it, like, I'm on this side of the mountain, and there is a potential that you would have had to sit through the tower room for nothing but something on Moldorm.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, though, we're still unable to get to Desert. And realistically, at this point, it's either Hera or Thieves Town that you can complete. So unless we find something here in, like, Paradox Cave or Super Bunny Cave that could lead to another crystal dungeon, like, Elminster is going to run out of options soon. Alright, we got blue mail and more money. I should have mentioned earlier, we did find half magic in Paradox Cave. We got a mushroom and more money.
But Elminster pulling Quake out of Super Bunny Cave, which it looks like is required for Turtle Rock.
Alright. And Elminster is going to go ahead and do Lightside Death Mountain, which, you know, obviously he wouldn't have forgotten those. It's just interesting seeing the different routing choices this time around. And so it's just interesting, like, with getting Mirror and Dark World access so early, it's fascinating to see how Elminster has been doing different routing in terms of getting through the world.
He's definitely been pulling off some really creative things, like this one damage boost you did to get past a mirror portal that was pretty slick, but all the routing may not matter if he doesn't get into Hera.
And Recitador gonna go ahead and use that cape to do Spike Cave, which makes sense. And we get bombos for your troubles in Spike Cave. And unfortunately, well, I was about to say Elminster noped out, but still going on. Hopefully he heads up.
He's headed up, and we just have to hope that he continues going up for Hera and doesn't just go to Spike Cave.
We'll know here on... Yep, he's going to Hera. Now, hopefully he thinks to continue on while doing, once he realizes the coffee break is required. But again, like, in Elminster's case right now, he really only has Pendant Hera and Pendant Thieves Town, and yeah, he's gonna do Coffee Break, so... You know, at this point, this is gonna certainly pay off for him.
Like, if there wasn't anything that would immediately pay off on the right side of Death Mountain, it would have made a lot of sense to go back to Hera. And, you know, we got a lot of nice items off right side Death Mountain, but nothing that's immediately progressive.
I do want to take a moment. You know, we mentioned the guard sprite that Recitador is using, but Elminster is using a special version of Link that has the color of the cap matching the color of the tunic. And, you know, we have a whole bunch of sprite artists that do amazing work being able to give us all these options when we're racing. And so shout outs to all of them for all the fine work they do.
So there's a lot of amazing sprites, and if these two sprites are too vanilla for you, might I suggest Missing No or the Sprite Can? Curse is also a favorite.
Being a Kingdom Hearts guy, I always go with Sora.
I usually go with either of the Boo sprites myself.
But see, right there is kind of the point, you know, why I bring it up, because, you know, it's that level of customization that allows people to just kind of use what they want, and it's always very nice to be able to do that. Here again, the pig, oh, what are their names? But the pigs are, the pig sprite there for the guards. It's just Moblin, that's what it was.
Moblin, yeah.
Alright, so now that Recitador has Mothula down, and seeing where Elminster is headed, I gotta imagine a Pod Eastern combo's coming up.
I'd expect the same thing. You have a high concentration of items. You have the Sahasrara Claws to route in here. There's a lot of items you can grab right now.
That is exactly where we're seeing Elminster head to. Probably gonna do Pod first and then Elminster is going to pay off Kiki the Extortionist. Recitador are going to head into Thieves Town.
So this play may just be to grab the green pendant before he moves on to the Eastern Pod combo, just so he has that additional check. You could also be thinking, you already have the red pendant, and you're very close to opening up the blue pendant, might as well grab the green, but...
I mean, honestly, being able to combo Pod and Eastern, I personally would do Pod and Eastern first. The time to have done Thieves Town probably would have been before you found the bow on Trolldorm. Now, granted, Recitador didn't know that we had already found 3 of the 4 items. There's only going to be 1 left. But, green. I've certainly seen Green Pendant lead to some important progression, so...
It can lead to progression, but that doesn't always mean will lead to progression. The sea could prove us all wrong and give us Canis Mari on Saha. Is out of the Bolog side of pods, so that's another crystal dungeon that's opened up that may or may not be locked by Hookshot in Ice Palace, and then he also has the first 4 in Swan Palace, which is everyone's favorite check.
That actually also opens up Ice Palace.
Correct.
Wait, did you say that?
Before Swamp Palace, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I missed that earlier.
I barely pay attention to what I say, so... It was likely I missed it, yeah.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just like... I just zoned out there for a minute. That's my fault.
Fine, yeah.
Alright, so if we don't find the small key in the chest in the Maiden Cell, then it's going to be locked in the Thieves Town big chest. And there's 300 bucks, so didn't need the other item in Thieves Town. Still need to see if Green Pendant leads to something. So right now, in terms of go mode, we certainly need the hook shot. We certainly need Cane of Samaria. We're gonna need Flute. So those 3 things. We may need Ether Medallion if Misery Mire requires Ether for entrance. And we still have that shovel sitting out on the lumberjack ledge.
So luckily neither runner has found boots, so they're not thinking too seriously about that, but that is probably something in the back of their minds.
thing is, boots... I don't think boots can be on pedestal. Well, no, they can, because... unless... The only way boots couldn't be on pedestal is if either the small key or the big key is on the torch in desert. Because if that's the case, then you need the boots to get to, get through Desert Palace.
A pedestal seed with no boots required for Desert Palace would just be the worst.
Alright, Recitador has the lunchbox in tow. Now, for those that may have just joined us, we know Ice Rod is on... we know Ice Rod is with the swordsmiths. So Elminster is going to have to go back for that at some point. We know that there is a shovel on Lumberjack Ledge that obviously we haven't done Aggie yet, so there's no way to know if we actually need that. And it's pretty much all that we've seen at this point. We're about to see Elminster take on Helmassar. And then I imagine we'll immediately mirror out and do Eastern Palace after that. Alright, down goes Helmassar.
Very nice getting those 4 hammer hits in.
And just a piece of heart and a crystal.
That we'll need for our go mode. We also need a sword upgrade. We have been sitting on that sword from the Sanctuary for about 40 minutes now.
And as predicted, Elminster does head into Eastern. I imagine Recitador is going to mirror once he gets into the maze as he pulls out said mirror to turn in the green pendant. So we'll see if finishing out Thieves Town paid off or not for Recitador. We got Master Sword in Eastern, Moment of Truth. Just 20 bucks.
Ooh.
Thieves Town was a bust. And nothing in Sahasra's closet, so you were talking about that Master Sword, we just found it.
You know, I like to give the reverse commentator's curses where something good happens when I say it happens.
Alright, Recitador getting the mirror out means I imagine he's going to do Eastern before Pod. Or prove me wrong and have the mirror ready for the first chest in Pod and the mirror out. You know, that's a thing, too.
He's just out to make us both look like fools, giving them Master Sword after I say they are looking for Master Sword. Display from Recitador. No more worrying about medallions for either runner once Recitador goes into Eastern.
Yep. So that leaves us with Hookshot, Flute, Cane of Samaria, in terms of go mode.
All 3 items found in Eastern, which means that the only real items of value from this play were the sword upgrade and the flippers.
But getting that, both crystals will pay off. So, Ice Palace certainly seems to be next on the docket. Because you can get into Swamp, but without the hook shot, you can't finish it. Mire and Turtle Rock, we still need Kana. Well, Mire, we need Flute just to get to. Turtle Rock, you still need Kana Samaria to get in. And we still can't get into Desert. So, yeah, Ice Palace is pretty much either a full clear of Ice Palace, which you can do, or a not full clearable Swamp. So I have to assume Ice is coming up.
In Ice Palace, it may not be full clearable by logic, because they may need the hookshot to access some of the chests, but I would expect a runner of Elminster's experience to know some of the bomb jumps.
Well, the thing is that I've gone through the Ice Palace logic because I did have a race this tournament where hook pendant Ice Palace hook shot was on the pedestal. The thing is, for the logic the logic for the 3 chests in Ice Palace, that one room where you use the hook shot is, yeah, that's one way to get in there, but a small key will also get you over there. So really all the logic is looking for with the hook shot is whether you have a way to get across the trap floor. And you can do that with Ether, or Kane O'Brien, you can do that with Cape. So actually Ice Palace is full clearable by the logic. You don't need the hook shot to check those 3 chests on the right.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I thought it was if you got a small key out of those first 3 chests, so, but yeah. That sounds right.
Okay, now
as well.
that may have something to do, yes.
Because you would need something to open it. Yeah.
If you don't have the small key in those chests, okay, we're both right in our own respects.
Oh yeah, the first time I ever pulled hookshot off of Ice Palace, I just stared at the video game for like 5 minutes, like, what just happened? Logic in Ice Palace is kind of weird to intuit.
And our tracker Dragon Master pointing out also that in version 29, the logic where the seed will not require you to take damage has now been changed. So if you are in one-hit KO mode, that is still a thing. But since we're not in one-hit KO mode, for things like those 3 chests in Ice Palace or Spike Cave, the seed can force you to kind of brute force your way over those trap floors.
As Astronerd is putting it, but so yeah. But yeah, it's also very complicated.
All right, just a big 20 from them turning in the mushroom. Now Elminster is gonna do Catfish, and then I imagine we'll do Zora after that. In fact, he's not even bothering with Catfish. He's just doing Waterfall of Wishing first.
Like that. Like the Marigo and Silvers.
Silvers and Waterfall of Wishing. Okay. That is certainly interesting routing to do Waterfall of Wishing, then Catfish. And Red Mail from Catfish.
I think he may have just been so excited to like get to the flipper locations that he just temporarily forgot about Catfish.
Alright, Heart Container on the Zora ledge. Elminster's at 10 hearts with Red Mail. It's certainly possible that I could see him not doing that. Alright, life lesson, love lesson, item lesson, troll lesson, fish lesson. I'm running out of lessons. How about a life lesson? 10% return on investment.
That Elm didn't save and quit after Zora, I would imagine that he's just going straight to Ice Palace.
Yeah, because he has... Well, I was about to say, well, he hasn't done Hobo yet, and then, well, he'll just go straight to Ice Palace.
I'm one item away from go mode. Hobo can wait until this is done. Here's a boss to kill.
Alright, Piece of Heart to start an Ice Palace. Yeah, even if we don't find the key, I imagine both of these runners are proficient in their bomb jumps, that if they have to use the lesser-known Ice Palace bomb jump, that they'll certainly be able to do it. But the more popular Ice Palace bomb jump is being attempted here. I missed the lineup there.
Good catch from Elm, just quickly abandoning it, not even... just going straight back out to reset.
Elminster having a little bit of trouble there with that staircase. There we go.
To the past ice physics. What a ride.
There's the big key. Without the hook shot, you can't hook shot over the block, so Elminster's gonna have to do the vanilla way to that big chest. And there's a small key, so we can get to the 3 chests on the left.
Within logic right now.
Alright. Recitador has almost nice taken care of. And even with a small key, Elminster's gonna bomb jump his way over to those 3 chests.
She's going to take care of those tiny jellyfish because those can really get in your way. And this is a super precise setup that he has to do.
So $300 is the first item. My apologies, second item.
I also got like a piece of heart or something similar along those lines.
Yo, BGS, will the logic require you to bomb jump ever, or is that just faster? So, there is a minor glitch. The way the logic is set up, there is logic for minor and major glitches. In these tournaments, we are using the no major glitches logic because it's not a requirement to know the minor glitches to run the tournament. But if you want to play Randomizer where minor glitches can be logically there, you can play it. It's just the tournament's set up for no major glitches. So as Chad is pointing out, because of the way the logic was set up, we would have needed a Cane of Samaria. So we are locked in by logic. We're locked at Ice Palace, but the 3 items were nothing to call home for. Why am I forgetting what that phrase is? No, it's nothing to call home for. That was it.
Nothing to. I think it's nothing to write home about.
Write home about. There you go. See, I'm the math major in the family. My brother is the one that has an English degree. I just write code all day.
One of my favorite albums by the Get Up Kids has a title along those lines, so that phrase is always kind of in the back of my mind.
Either way, I suck at words, and Elminster has a crystal.
Aside from Elminster, you can. He's actually one of the top low percent runners. Low percent being the speedrunning category where you clear the game with only Master Sword. So he's putting those skills on display right now.
All right, so we have Hobo still to check. which Elminster is doing now. Or Ice Rock Cave. He hasn't done Ice Rock Cave. There is that. But we have not seen Hobo. And we have not seen Swamp Palace, so...
Floating Island.
We could do Floating Island, but it was I think it was just a 5-bomb upgrade. I didn't see anything of importance there.
I meant Lake Hylia Island. I get my islands mixed up.
Yeah, fair point. But either way, we're gonna find some progression soon. We're starting to run out of options. Oh! Literacy on Lake Hylia Island. That is not a thing the runners may want to see right now, because that means desert is in progression, and that could mean pedestal.
Suddenly, Recitador's decision to stay in Thieves Town looks to may have implications. Yeah, if Desert Palace boots locked or not.
Alright, so Elminster does get his literacy and now heads back to Hobo. Recitador is going to pick up the book at the same time, but instead head to Ice Palace. All right, so for those that are just joining us, since chat is trying to be as evil as it usually is, we do have a shovel on Lumberjack Ledge. So Aga, even though we've had Dark World access pretty much like 6 minutes into the race, we're still not fully out of Aga danger, because that shovel could lead to something. Right now we can't get to it because we would need the boots. But could this be Elminster going to check pedestal? Nope.
It would make sense in this situation, especially since he's already been in Moth Boss, so...
No, he's doing,
yeah, if you're gonna check
gotta be Jeremiah.
This is gonna be good for him. He's gonna pick up his Ice Rod, and the purple chest down to... He's probably gonna be taking this route to take the purple chest down to Gary, and then he's gonna be able to route in the Ether Tablet with that, and then if necessary, he'll probably dive Desert Palace.
Yeah, for anyone that may be joining us, since we're starting to suspect pedestal may be in play, Elminster did go independent Thieves Town, but only checked the first 4 chests and then noped out. Recitador did go all the way in Thieves Town. 3 of the 4 items were in the first 4 chests, and then the 4th item was just $300, and then Sahasrala just had a big 20 for turning in the green pendant. So as of right now, Thieves Town was a total bust unless there's something on the pedestal. It was more, Chad pointing out, was Dark World access and escape. Okay, it was more like 10-minute Dark World access.
But definitely within the first, yeah. Oh, within the first 10 minutes, I was going to say.
It was definitely there from the word go, basically. Hammer was the uncle item, and the Moon Pearl and Power Glove were in Blind's Hut. So Elminster is going to turn in the lunchbox. The way he's setting up with the hammer, he's probably going to do Bombo's tablet also. All right, so Walsh, question to you.
All right.
Okay, question one. Would you have checked Pedestal while you were there with Elminster?
But because like you don't have the boots yet, and you may be assuming that Desert is boots locked. But yeah, I think I would have given that a check just to like know what I'm in for when I go to Desert Palace.
Okay. Now, next question. Regardless of whether this is a pedestal seat or not, would you have done a potential full clearable desert, pendant desert, or a not full clearable swamp palace because you don't have the hook shot yet?
Palace, 100%. Gets a quicker check than swamp. There's more, available in swamp potentially, but I think this would be the safer play. Like you can't full clear swamp, you can potentially full clear desert.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, so to go back to the original part of the question, I probably would have checked pedestal, and if this was a pedestal seed, I would have gone straight to desert. If this wasn't a pedestal seed, I probably would have gambled that Swamp Palace had something. And yet again, I'm being reminded there was another thing we have not checked that we could have seen from the word go, and that's a Aeginus Cave. But it was just a piece of heart, so no harm, no foul. All right, big 20 on desert ledge. Recitador having a little bit of trouble with that bomb jump. You pretty much have to be as far left or right as you can. Alright. Let's see what we have here. First item in desert is big key. So as long as the small key is not on the torch, we are not boots locked. And so, Kana Samoria, the desert torch.
We found it. Can't get to it, but we found it.
Well, technically, since the small key and the big key were not on the torch, boots could be on pedestal. Oh, but hookshot is in desert. And Elminster's gonna nope out. Which makes sense. You do Swamp Palace now that you have the hook shot. And Chat bringing up a good point with having found the 2 items in desert. At this point, you don't kill Lammo unless you have to for the pedestal.
Linear, you know, like kind of follow the breadcrumb seed. So Elminster choosing to continue following the breadcrumbs rather than, you know, going for the pedestal play, which, you know, may not pay out. A crystal out of this, so yeah.
Yeah, but it is, I mean, truth of the matter is that paid off for Elminster, because even if you gambled Swamp Palace like I was suggesting, you wouldn't have gotten the hook shot and you would have been heading back to desert anyway, so. Alright, so that opens up Swamp Palace. That does also open up Hookshot Cave on Death Mountain. That will also open up Fat Fairy, because that'll be the other 5/6 crystal.
I think we still need the Canis and Maria for Pyramid Fairy to be in play.
No, because we just need 5.
What's the Turtlerock?
No. It
Right,
was
sorry.
Pond and Swamp.
Yeah, temporary color blindness.
Alright, where does recitador head next? Kinda hoping he turns right and heads for Bombo's tablet, which he does. And hopefully he continues that, well, I turned him around because he was going down at that point, but you hope he continues on and goes to desert instead of swamp, because otherwise this will be a full double dip. Elminster, you don't have the statue all the way on the switch. There you go. And recitador gonna do a Genus Cave. But actually, to your earlier point, I mean, this has been, with how linear this seed has been, recitador has kind of been that Thieves Town behind Elminster, and pretty much has not had a chance yet to kind of get himself back on pace with Elminster.
Thieves Town was really the only opportunity to gamble so far, and if that didn't pay off, then progression has been set up through the seed. It's maybe a while yet before he can get back in this. We still have a lot of race left.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen Canis Samaria on the Desert Torch, which means we're going to need boots. We are going to need flute for Mire. So we're 2 items away from go mode, and both of those items could, in fact, be on pedestal. Or could be at the dig... Well, could be at the dig spot. to shovel. Or not to shovel, because shovel's on lumberjack ledge. But we got a flute on Argus. So we are now just boots away from go mode, which that would officially mean Aga is dead because you need the boots to get the shovel.
And the only item that they need at this point is the red cane, which they know is boots locked, so no more.
Interesting with finding that flute. Elminster did not finish left side swamp.
I believe we did pull the map and the big key out of the back of the swamp, but Elminster might just be chasing that flute lead.
Yeah, I'm making a gamble here that left side swamp doesn't have the progression that he needs. He has seen that Cane of Samaria, so he knows once he finds the boots, he's in go mode. The J is away for Elminster. And yep, he is fluting the 6. Alright, we got Ether Tablet check, which we haven't seen, and Mire Shed. Ether Tablet is another shield upgrade, and nothing in Mire Shed. And now Recitador is also going to do Hookshot Cave. Checkerboard cave check here from Elminster. Just more bombs. Oh, and Recitador getting dead rocked. There you go. So it was Ether, which we found in Eastern Palace. But at that point, we had all 3 medallions, so it didn't matter. The Recitador is going to open up Turtle Rock, but we can't get in right now without the Cane of Samaria. And speaking of Cane of Samaria, Elminster can't finish Mire. But is at least going to go ahead and dip in here and see what 2 items we have. In some ways, it's a... No! Guys, I was about to say it's a race to the boots! What are those? So that's no mode for Recitador, and he, finally the divergence in the routing. Recitador, has the 1 item left.
First, so yeah, he's gonna get that flute off Argus, and he's gonna be in go mode, and we're gonna see when Elm makes his way back up to Death Mountain.
Which
It's gonna
certainly
be
means
close.
it's really just a matter of when does Elminster go up to Death Mountain, which... At this point, it's probably going to be soon. Other than going back to do Left Side Swamp. Elminster's kind of running out of options.
I can kind of get the logic behind this gamble. Like, you don't want to make that second trip up Death Mountain if you don't have to, especially when it's only the 4 chests in Hookshot Cave. I may have just been following the logic here, thinking that the flute was the next hint, but this is canceling out Recitador's Thieves Town gamble.
Alright. For a minute, it looked like Elminster might have been going for Aga. Alright, here he goes. He's heading up for Death Mountain. Alright, recitador's just going straight for Argus. That'll pay off for him, because that's where the flute is. Alright, so... Go ahead.
I think Elminster still has the lead, because Recitador still has to grab the flute, but he also has to, go through the flute cutscene and, get to Argus, whereas and he's pretty much going to leave this place.
Yeah. Yeah. He is still going to be a little bit ahead. But there is still, plenty of race left to be had. Ganon fall here. We still have to do... We're still right now at Master Sword, so you're still looking at a Master Sword Silver Ganon fight.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I'm in a good position, but this lead is not safe, I wouldn't say.
Alright.
I see what he's doing.
Yeah, very nice setup here. He's gonna mirror there, go get the cane, and then immediately mirror back to, back out to then go right into Meyer once he gets his cane of Samaria. Recitador has his flute. And at 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 36 seconds, ElminsterRTA is officially in go mode. And actually, Elminster's already been into Mire and already has the big key, so he just has to go straight for Vitreous. Recitador, meanwhile, is still going to have to search for the big key when Recitador gets to Mire. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, to honor Hyrule, we ask that you join us. It is time once again for the playing of the National Swag Deck Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Quack is back. Actually, Recitador... Nope, not going to do that same setup that Elminster did. He's just going to go the normal way. And Recitador is officially in go mode. It's about 2 minutes and change pace on Elminster at this point.
He hit go mode a little over 2 minutes, but like he said, he still has to find the big key in Mire.
And Elminster is into Vitreous, just mowing down these eyeballs with those silver arrows. Zero cycles it very nicely and already done with the big eyeball.
He was going so fast with that fight, one of his arrows actually like went off to the side.
Alright, and now Elminster just has to go mode Turtle Rock, and then we'll be on his way to Ganon's Tower. Now, being that we are on the ALTTP Randomizer channel, we will still be doing the big key guessing game, but we don't have the bot, so we won't be doing, we won't be able to get on the leaderboard, but we'll still be playing it for the fun.
You won't be immortalized on an internet leaderboard, but you'll be immortalized in my heart.
I think Elminster's not too happy with not opening up Turtle Rock when he could have. This honestly hasn't been that trolly of a seed. It's been, like we said earlier, it's pretty linear. It wasn't really that much out of the way. It's been overall pretty good seed.
The trolliest dip.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, when the trolliest thing is like just the double dip Penitentiary Desert Palace, you had a pretty good V29 seed, I'd say.
Yeah. Although, I mean, there was at least one pendant dungeon that was required with the bow.
Oh, all the way on Moldorm, so you had to sit through the Tau room in order to get to them, and then Pendant Desert required to get both the hookshot and the Cane of Samaria. Get a vanilla big key out of Turtle Rock today, so once again, Go Mode Turtle Rock is just like normal Turtle Rock, only you get to go to Ganon's Tower after.
Pretty much. Recitador is on Vitreous. Now he has opened up Turtle Rock, so he'll save a few seconds not having to open it, but excuse me. Still gonna be behind Elminster's pace. Very nicely done. Chad also bring up a good point. That was a required double dip at Desert Palace because the boots were in a hookshot locked portion, so you had to go to Desert to get the boots, and then go back to Desert to get the cane.
Seed was mean in, a couple spots here and there, and of course it's short on swords, but yeah, overall, not free, but, until you're ready to go. Oh, and to the cane ride.
That could hurt him. I know there's a full magic. Oh, he's. Oh, okay. There's a full magic decanter in the front room. I think there's like a pot here. There you go. That's it.
Just gonna mirror out, and then he's gonna be back on his way. Okay, yeah, that is from Elm. He's just paying off here.
Good resources, and there is that full magic decanter right before Trinex. So We'll be able to refill before the fight. Elminster is going to go ahead and check Laser Bridge.
Still needs one small key to get to Trinex.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. There's a heart container there. There's the key. And not even going to bother with that last chest. All right. Here we go on that Trinex fight. And Elminster gonna go with Menu Simulator 2019 version 2. Electing to use the hammer as opposed to the Master Sword to take out these Trinex heads. Gets it done and into phase 2.
Combining the fire rod damage and the Master Sword flashes on Trinex.
And very quick work of Trinex.
The Master Sword Trinex fight is you're ever going to see.
Well, that is crystal number 7 for ElminsterRTA. So, there are 22 locations where that Ganon's Tower Big Key could possibly be. If you want to play in our game, go ahead and put a number in between 1 and 22. Again, we don't have the bot for the leaderboard, but yeah, I have nothing to offer. You're just playing just to see if you can get it right. RD Walsh the 5th, what are you guessing?
I'm gonna go with 19.
I'm going chest number 1.
There are different approaches to Ganon's Tower.
Oh, Recitador did not get the big key. He's gonna have to go back for that.
Yeah, he's gonna realize what happened in just a couple seconds.
Yep.
Staring down the chest.
All right. Chest number 1, $300. Number 2, small key, going right side. Not bothering with Tower Room yet. All right, number 3, Piece of Heart. Number 4, $20. Number 5, Piece of Heart. Number 6, Compass. Getting that mirror out, so probably gonna pick up the key here and then just mirror and not do full right side. Number 7, small key. Chat not happy that Bob is unfortunately not of this world anymore.
Extra glitches for us.
Number 8, 5-euro upgrade, 9. 20 bucks, 10. Small key, 11. 5-euro upgrade. $12, double firebar room. Small key, that's all the small keys. Recitador having a little bit of problem with the laser bridge. 13. 10 bomb upgrade. Oh, he's just laying down bombs. Better make sure you save at least one, buddy.
Only needs the one. He's probably fine.
All right, 14. Triple bombs. 15, 5 bomb upgrade. 16, piece of heart. Tempered sword, number 17.
If you're gonna go through all this rigmarole in Ganon's Tower, you're happy to find that one sword.
And that one chest that Elminster skipped in Turtle Rock on Laser Bridge was not of any importance. Bob's chest, 18. There it is! M. Hobgoblin was the closest guess with 15. Congratulations. You win nothing.
You can take some pride in, getting close.
Recitador having a little bit of trouble there with Trinex. And Elminster is officially into the gauntlet. Recitador just having a ton of problems with Trinex. Having to burn a blue potion there just to...
Just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, this fight is not as easy as Elminster made it look.
And honestly, at this point, it is Elminster's race to lose. You've got Tempered Sword. You got Silver Arrows. I mean, he's just mowing down this gauntlet. Unless he has a meltdown at Ganon or Aga 2. He's got this race. Ooh. Well, I may have just jinxed him. He's gonna have to redo this. Alright, and as Elminster heads into Trolldorm 2, Recitador is going to be entering Ganon's tower. Alright, here we go with Aga 2.
Nearly got the triple-double, but
gets it done, no problem.
just with some extra sword flashes, you know. Give himself something to do while he waits for the cutscene to play out.
Empty threats from Ganon. I mean, seriously, how many times over have we killed this pig?
Cave strats on Ganon. He probably has not seen that dot done, and he probably knows that in a pretty good position over his opponent, and he just doesn't want to lose this race at this point, I would imagine.
Yeah, we'll find out. We can certainly ask him if we are able to get him in for an interview. Just one slash away from phase 4. Ooh, misses the torch glitch. Ooh, one man just get one hit there. It's 2. Oh,
okay, he's got it. He's got it, yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's game. And with the walk through the door, ElminsterRTA finishes with official SRTV time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 38 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat. like we are going to get Elminster in for a chat.
Oh.
And joining us in chat is ElminsterRTA. Congrats and GG's.
Oh, thank you.
How you feeling?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, man. That was a really stressful seed.
It was pretty linear, but there were certainly points where the number of locations you had left came down to like just a couple, so I can certainly see where the stress was.
I was really worried about the shovel in Lumberjack as well.
Yeah, we were thinking about that for a while. It also, with having access to the pendant dungeons early, it also was shaping up that it could have been a pedestal seed, especially once we found the book on the Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, that was on my mind as well. I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the trip to check the pedestal, or if I was going to get burned for not finishing Green Pen in Thieves Town, or like there's just a lot of possibilities towards the end. A lot of like I had 3 or 4 items missing for Go mode, and not many locations left. All of the locations I had left were pretty bad.
Yeah, and you also elected to bypass left side swamp once you found the flute.
Yeah, I wasn't too confident in anything being in swamp, but I figured I'd like go in to see if there was anything immediately accessible. So my plan was actually I was just gonna bail no matter what, and then I was going to check Hookshot Cave, because I was actually kind of regretting not going to Hookshot Cave first. And then like go and check something else after that. Like desert I had? No, did I have desert? I don't remember. I don't remember what exactly was going through my head, but I was gonna leave left side for later.
You did, so you did desert first, saw Canis Samaria and got hookshot. Then went to Swamp Palace, got the flute, went to Mire, didn't find anything in Mire, and then went up to Dark Death Mountain to get the boots in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, it was just kind of, I left certain things on the table to not check right away, and I had them in the back of my mind, so instead of doing left side swamp, I was going to leave that for later and do the other thing I was thinking of. Because I was saying, like, okay, I got the hook shot in desert. Like, I got the book. The book was accessible much earlier than I found it. Like, I full cleared ice, not seeing the book on the island. This is the second time that I have full cleared ice when there was an important item sitting in the island right outside that I wasn't aware of. And then that book got me hookshot in desert, and then that hookshot got me flute. And I was thinking, okay, well, if I can help it, I don't want to have to take another trip up Death Mountain, so maybe we'll go... Like, I've got to clear some of Mire for the big key anyways. Let's see if the boots are in there. I thought it was pretty unlikely, but I just wanted to reduce the amount of checks that were on the table, and that one didn't seem too bad.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there were some really, really hard decisions towards the end.
Yeah, and honestly, the way the seed worked out between you and Recitador is Recitador went ahead and went all the way into Thieves Town, and finished it, so that put him behind. And honestly, the way that the seed kind of played out, they're really the only real divergence in terms of getting for him to kind of catch up was the boots. But at that time, like, you only had a few checks left, so it was logically made sense to go get him when you did, and so that really never materialized in a ability for recitador to come back.
I was kind of hoping that I would, like, I guess cover my, I don't know how to phrase it, like, just, I don't know, cover my potential losses, hopefully. Like, my big thing was I was worried that boots, after all this time, were in Green Pendant Thieves, and I was going to lose just because I hadn't gone in the whole way. Because I figured that might be a gamble he would take, or something he would do early. I chose not to, pending further information, and I continued to get items that led me elsewhere.
No, it makes sense. Hitaka in chat wanting us to ask you about the fact that the point where you ran out of magic in Turtle Rock and had to go searching for it to get down to the last floor.
Okay, that was really annoying because when I used Berna to get out of the first roller room with the torches, I decided not to pick up the magic because I was like, okay, I don't need it. It's a waste of time. And also I've had issues where if I have, this doesn't really apply with half magic, but I have issues where, like, if I have too much magic on Master Sword Trinex, and I go to pick up the last full magic right before the boss, if my magic's too full, it'll fill up all the way before I can use the free magic refill to make the Cimmeria platform. So that was just like muscle memory. Like, I try not to keep my magic too full because that's kind of what happens to me in vanilla a lot, especially low percent runs. So it would have been smart to grab the extra magic, but I didn't because, you know, I have less muscle memory from that. I get to the crystal roller room and I somehow miss the crystal switch with one of my cane blocks. And if I hadn't missed it, I still would have had enough magic for the platform. So there's like a lot going on there over this one tiny little tick of magic.
Well, recitador did just finish. He did have an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, 3 seconds. Let's get those GGs in chat for recitador, and he is going to join us for an interview. And just
cool.
like that, recitador joins us in chat. GG.
Hello.
How you feeling? Recitador, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out whether I was on push to talk or activity.
So how you feeling?
Surprised that I even made it into GT before the ended because I was playing like absolute garbage at the end there.
Yeah, you weren't too far behind of Elminster. It really just came down to that. Elminster only did the first 4 chests in Thievestown. You did a full clear of Thievestown before going to Eastern and Pod. And unfortunately, the way the seed kind of played out, there really wasn't it was kind of linear to where there really wasn't a chance for you guys to do a major divergence.
Yeah, I haven't had Thievestown let me down yet in a race until today.
Yeah, but talk about the fact that Shovel was on Lumberjack Ledge, and apparently from watching the credits, there was the last sword upgrade was at the dig spot.
Well, I don't think it would have helped me too much, so I'm glad I didn't get that. It took forever to find the third sword, which was killing me with the Trinex fight.
Yeah. Sorry about sorry about how that Trinex fight played out for you.
I mean, I didn't die, so it's okay. It's actually the fifth hammer I've gotten this tournament, though, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, okay, so that was one thing I did want to ask you, Elminster. You guys got Dark World access in Kakariko, like, immediately in Blind's Hut, and then you went ahead, Elminster, you went ahead and just bolted straight to the Dark World, and I gotta say, it was very fascinating to see, like, a very different, divergent path. Like, I have never seen someone use a mirror, from Dark World to go check Mini Trollhorn Cave before.
I've done that a couple times now, but it was just a great opportunity to cut out the walking distance from Sanctuary to CAC and a little bit from Link's house to South Shore, because like I didn't have the flute. Like, probably if I had the flute, I probably wouldn't have gone into the Dark World right away. And I was really hoping Thieves Town wasn't dependent, because I would have felt completely fine doing Thieves Town on 4 hearts. But I did not feel okay doing Skullwoods on 4 hearts with Fighter Sword.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is I really considered going to Hype Cave before I went to South Shore, just in case the mirror was there, but I was just like, maybe it's in the Light World. I'll just go there first. Regretted
That's
that.
exactly why I went to Hype Cave first, actually.
I regretted that. I really wanted, like, I saw the mirror there and I was like, missed opportunity.
Like, if it's not there, you just save and quit, and it's really not a huge difference anyways.
Yeah. Second guessed myself and it didn't work out, but that wasn't, I mean, it didn't lose me too much time. I mostly lost time in Ice Palace trying to bomb, jump the hookshot gap, and then in Turtle Rock where I just lost my mind completely.
All right. Well, unfortunately, recitador, that puts you at 4 and 3, so you got a very slim chance of maybe getting the bracket stage if you do make it through all the tiebreakers and whatnot. So I guess my last question to you would be, how are your thoughts on the tournament overall?
It's been pretty fun. I got a positive record. I got the same record I got from Key Sanity, so I mean, I guess I'm not bad, just not great. So I'm happy with that.
Good. I'm glad to hear at least your expectations were met. And GG and props to you. Thank you for putting on quite a show for us.
Thanks.
And then Elminster, to you at 5 and 2. That does put you into the bracket phase. So thoughts heading into bracket?
So I'm really relieved that I am getting into bracket, because I was 4-0 and then lost my next 2 matches, which I think both of them I still had. I think I had a decent chance of winning either one of those, and I lost both of them, so it was like a bit demoralizing. But yeah, like, my goal for the tournament is to make it to round 3 of bracket, because if I do that, then I will have placed better than I did in the fall tournament.
Well, we will certainly be rooting for you and all the other runners. Again, thank you for putting on quite the show. Be sure to give Recitador and ElminsterRTA follows on Twitch. They put on quite a show for us. Walsh, any final thoughts from you?
No, nothing too different. Yeah, thank you to Recitador and Elminster for the fine race you put on. Yeah, GG to both of you. Thank you to Dragon Master for tracking. Thank you to Synac for restreaming, and thank you to chat for watching.
Yes, Yes, indeed. Thank you to Dragon Master and for Sinek for all the work they did putting this on. We do have 2 races going on that just started a little bit ago. On Speed Gaming, we have PRD Wong versus Safod Beeble Brox IV. On Speed Gaming 4, we have Lava and Firestorm and Scrub Casual. Those races got started at the top of the hour, so if you want to jump over there, you can certainly see those. We have a whole bunch of races going on tomorrow, so be sure to stick around to all of the Speed Gaming and ALTTP randomizer channels for all of the action as we head into the bracket stages. RD Walsh V, thank you for joining me on co-commentary again.
Yeah, and thank you for the fine commentary, Jax. This was super fun as always.
And with that, we're going to wrap up shop here. You all have a great evening, and be sure to stay tuned to the rest of the tournament.